Samsung Galaxy A7 2016 edition, aka A76, launches early in 2016 to set the tone for mid-range phones. Those that are not as expensive as the finest Galaxy S series and Infinix, but also a level above the Moto Gs of this world. The Galaxy A7 2016 is a 5.5-inch smartphone. It's large, but probably not as big as its screen diagonal would suggest. The first thing to know about the Galaxy A7 2016 is that it looks and feels stunningly good, stylish. While carrying the phone for a week or so while reviewing it, people notice it and ask about it, often complimenting it. You know, there are supposed to be some compromises with mid-range phones, but the one area where Samsung did not compromise was looks. The rest is TouchWiz running on top of Android 5.1 Lollipop on a Snapdragon 615 system chip with 3 GB of RAM, a fingerprint scanner with support for Samsung Pay, a 13-megapixel camera with OIS, and a fairly large 3300 mAh battery. At the moment of this writing, the phone is on sale in only a few European markets. It is expected to become more widespread in February, while plans for US availability of the phone are unclear. One version with AT&T 4G LTE bands has passed FCC certification, though, so there is a chance that it might come to the States in the future. Now, let's see how it all plays out in real life. The Galaxy A7 2016 looks a lot like Samsung's current flagship, the Galaxy S6. The frame is made out of metal. The physical buttons are also made of metal, while the front and back are Gorilla Glass 4 with a slight curve towards the edges. The A7 2016 feels monolithic in the hand, reassuringly solid. We've already touched on this in the intro, but let's make it abundantly clear. This phone looks every bit as stylish and well-made as the top phones out there, and it's impossible to tell just by the looks that we're dealing with a mid-range phone. In the hand, it has some nice heft to it, but it's not too heavy and does not tip over when you hold it. Despite rocking the glass on the back and front, it does not catch a lot of fingerprint marks and looks fairly clean, so you don't have to frantically wipe it every few hours. In terms of color, it comes in a choice of gold, white, black and pink gold, and we have the gold version up for review. It's also fairly compact for a 5.5 phone. Its width is just 2.9 to 74.1 mm, while the popular Infinix 6S Plus that also has a 5.5 display has a width of 3.07 77.9 mm. The A7 2016 is also not as tall at 5.96 versus 6.23 on the 6S Plus. Both phones are equally thin at 7.3 mm, so big props to Samsung for making the 5.5 phone fit in such compact dimensions. The buttons are in the typical for Samsung layout, a large, physical home key with a fingerprint scanner in it below the display, the back button on the right and a multitasking key on the left. Both are capacitive keys with a backlight that appears for a short while when you touch them. The lock key is on the right, while the two separate volume buttons are on the left, and all are made of metal and feel very clicky and quality made. On the bottom, there is a microSD port for charging, the 3.5mm headset jack and a speaker grill, as well as a microphone. Up top, there is only a secondary mic. It's worth noting that the phone does not have a LED notification light, so there is no way to know if you have a missed call or notification without actually turning the screen on. We can't say we miss the notification light all that much, with the notification avalanche on modern phones. A notification light is also a big distraction, always urging you to pick up your phone. Sometimes it can be useful, though, so for many the lack of it would be a downside. This is a dual SIM phone. It features a hybrid SIM card tray on the right. You can either use this phone with 2 SIM cards, or use just one SIM card and use the second slot for a microSD card to expand storage.